Very good evening and cordial welcome to all students to this session of discussion of 30 important questions from each chapter. In this session, we begin the second year topics. First chapter, Reproduction in Organisms. Comparatively, a small chapter, 30 selected questions we discuss here. Question number 1. Immortal individuals are. What is immortal individuals? Immortal individuals means the individuals which have no death. But if a living organism we consider, all individuals are mortal, however they die. But here the question ironically asks us, immortal individuals are. Which type of organisms are considered as immortal? Immortal individuals are single-celled organisms. On what aspects single-celled organisms are considered as immortal? Here, single-cell organisms are considered as immortal. The core meaning is natural or naturally they have no death. Why? In the case of unicellular organisms, when they reproduce, as you know, their reproduction is cell division. Their reproduction is cell division. Cell division itself is the method of reproduction in unicellular organisms. When the cell divide and the daughter cells are produced, that is, in the case of unicellular organism, it is their progeny. It is their young one. It is their offspring. When the unicellular organisms divide or reproduce and they produce daughter cells or progeny, what happens is there is no existence of parental body. Why? Parental body is divided into two new progeny. Parental body is divided into two new progeny. It divides into two. There is no progeny. That is, the parent disappears. There is no parent. When the parental cell or the parental cell divide, it produces two daughter cells, that is the progeny. After the division, there is no existence of the parent. Only the progeny exists. In this aspect, we say unicellular organisms are immortal. That is, there is no natural death. Yes. Next. Clones are. What are clones? Clone. It is morphologically and genetically similar progeny. How morphologically and genetically similar progeny are produced? During asexual reproduction. During asexual reproduction, morphologically and genetically similar progeny are produced. Why? In asexual reproduction, there is no gametic fusion, so the progeny, they are identical. Identical in morphology, that is external structure, identical in genetical constitution, that is in terms of genotype, they are similar. So by definition, clone is the group of individuals or a group of progeny, a group of offspring, a group of young one produced through asexual reproduction. They are morphologically and genetically similar. So we can opt first one and also second one. So the answer is option C, both A and B. Okay, it's clear, I hope. Now, we move to question number 3. Binary fission is a mode of asexual reproduction in binary fission. The cell divides into two. That is what is called binary fission, a simple method of reproduction, a simple method of asexual reproduction. That is, the cell elongate, the nucleus elongate, the nucleus divides into two, the cell also divides into two. Here, binary fission is a method of reproduction in amoeba and paramecium. So the answer is C, amoeba and paramecium. Here, a diagram that of amoeba is given. The parent cell, first you can see the nucleus gradually elongate, a constriction appear in the center, and it divides into two. Nucleus divides into two. Okay. Then a constriction appear in the middle of the cell divides into two. Thus two daughter cells are formed. It is binary fission. So a common method of reproduction, a common method of asexual reproduction in amoeba and paramecium. In the case of yeast, the method of asexual reproduction is budding. The method of asexual reproduction is budding. What type of reproduction is called budding? That is, if the daughter cells are much smaller than the parent cell at the time of formation, the reproduction is called budding. Or it may be sometimes called, it is a binary fission in which the daughter cell is much smaller than the parent cell. In the case of yeast, as you know, that is, a small protrusion develops, the nucleus divides into two, and the daughter nucleus moves into this protrusion, and finally this protrusion, it is separated. So this is the parent cell, this is the daughter cell, or daughter cell is called the bud. So here the daughter cells are equal. When the two daughter cells are equal, it is called binary fission. If after division, one cell is much smaller than the other, it is called budding. So yeast reproduce by budding. Next, question number 4. Common mode of reproduction in penicillium. Penicillium is a fungus belonging to the class Ascomycete. The common method of reproduction is conidia. Common method of reproduction is conidia. What are conidia? Conidia are exogenous non-motile spores. Conidia are exogenous non-motile spore. What is exogenous? It is produced outside the spore producing structure. This is the co-spore producing structure. The spore producing structure, it is called conidiophore. It is called conidiophore. Conidia are produced external, not internal. So conidia are produced externally. The spore producing structure is called conidiophore. And the conidiophore, on the conidiophore, the conidia are produced, not in the conidiophore. So the conidia are produced on the conidiophore. So conidia are exogenous. That you are clear. It is produced external, outside, on the spore producing structure. Spore producing structure is conidiophore, and exogenous non-motile spores. Exogenous non-motile spores. Exogenous non-motile spore. Non-motile spore, spore having no flagella, having no cilia, that is, they could not move. I mean, they have no self capacity of locomotion. So, non-motile spore. Okay, now that is conidia. Buds are that of yeast, gemmules. They are of sponges. Zoospores, it is chlamydomonas. Zoospores are, here you can see, zoospores are endogenous. Zoospores are endogenous non-motile spores. Sorry, endogenous motile spores. Endogenous motile spores. Gemmules are endogenous. Gemmules are endogenous non-motile spores. Endogenous non-motile spores. See the difference between bud is not a spore. Bud is not a spore. Budding is the type of binary fission in which the daughter cell is much smaller than the parent cell. Much smaller than the parent cell. Okay. Next, question number 5. Vegetative propagation of mint. Vegetative propagation of mint. In mint, the vegetative propagation occurs by means of sucker. By means of sucker. Sucker is an underground stem modification. Sucker is an underground stem modification. It develops from the base of underground stem. First it grows horizontally below the soil. Then it comes out of the soil obliquely. It is an underground stem modification. Offset, runner, offset, rhizome, all are stem modification for vegetative propagation. Runner, it is seen in certain grasses and strawberry. And offset in aquatic plants, Eichhornia and Pistia. Rhizome, it is in ginger. So offset in aquatic plants, Eichhornia and Pistia. Then rhizome in ginger. Then runner in grasses and strawberry. Grasses, strawberry, oxalis. In these plants, runner is seen. Then, next, micropropagation is a technique for the production of micropropagation. It is an in vitro method of vegetative propagation. That is a method of vegetative propagation done in laboratory, in vitro method of vegetative propagation. It is done through tissue culture. It is done through tissue culture. What is micropropagation? Production of a large number of plants. Production of large number of plants from a small amount of plant material, a small amount of tissue, or a small amount of plant material. This method is called micropropagation. The word micro, small, stands for a little amount, a small amount of plant material is used. It is an artificial method. The plant material is cultured. The plant material used for culturing is called explant. The explant develop. And it produces large number of plants. Then that is what is called micropropagation. Since micropropagation is the method of vegetative propagation, the progeny will be clones. In all vegetative propagation, the progeny obtained is called clone, morphologically and genetically similar individuals. But the progeny obtained from micropropagation, they are called somaclonal plants. Somaclonal plants are plants or progeny obtained from tissue culture or micropropagation. Next question. Question number 7. Examples of vegetative propagation. Examples of vegetative propagations are, here it is given, rhizome, tuber, offset, and all of these. Answer is option D, all of these. So rhizome is a vegetative method of vegetative propagation, tuber, offset. So rhizome, this is rhizome. It is in ginger. Rhizome, it is in ginger. Tuber, it is in potato. It is tuber, it is in potato. Offset, it is in water plant like Icornia and Pistia. Here you can see another NCRT diagram, that is bulbil, also a vegetative propagation, a structure for vegetative propagation. It is found in agave. Bulbils are fleshy structure, fleshy buds. Bulbils are fleshy structure. They are found in agave. And this is bryophyllum. Here, the buds originating from, we can call adventitious bud. Here, bud originates from the margin of the leaf. What is adventitious buds? All the buds other than terminal and axillary are called adventitious buds. What is a terminal bud? You know, it is present at the tip of stem, main stem, or at the tip of branches. Terminal bud. Bud present at tip of the stem, maybe main stem or branches. What is axillary bud? Axillary bud is formed at the axil of the leaf. This is the leaf. This corner is called the axil. Here the bud is present. This is called axillary bud. If the bud is present at the tip of the stem, this is called terminal bud. Leaf is there. This is called terminal bud. Then apart from this axillary bud, terminal bud. Apart from this, from any area, any region of the plant body, if a bud is formed, it is called accessory bud or adventitious bud. Bryophyllum is an example for that. In bryophyllum, bud is formed from the margin of the leaf, and at the base of the bud, roots develop. At the base of the bud, roots develop, and these buds fall off from the leaf and they develop into a new plant. They develop into a new plant. So in bryophyllum, adventitious bud is a method of vegetative propagation. Next, 8. Transverse binary fission. Transverse binary fission, it is found in paramecium. Transverse binary fission is found in paramecium. In euglena and amoeba, longitudinal binary fission is found. In hydra, bud is found, bud formation. Hydra, sexual reproduction is by budding. That is transverse binary fission. Next, the condition in which male and female reproductive organs are found on the same plant. If male and female reproductive organs are found on the same plant, the plant is called monoecious. The plant is called monoecious. So monoecious condition, the plant is bisexual. Remember, the plant is bisexual. Not I mean the flower. Not I mean the flower. Coconut is a monoecious plant. Coconut palm is a monoecious plant, but the flowers are unisexual. Flowers are unisexual. That is, male and female flowers are separate. Male flowers consist of only stamen. Female flowers consist of only carpel. But both male and female flowers are found on the same plant. Same coconut palm. You can see male flower. You can see female flower. Here the flower is unisexual, but plant is bisexual. See the irony? Flower is unisexual. The plant is bisexual. Why? Because female and male flowers are found on the same plant. So, monoecious condition refers the organism is bisexual. Or in the case of plant, the reproductive organs are flower. So, sexuality in the case of plants, we can refer sexuality for flower, sexuality for plant. If flower is bisexual, definitely plant is bisexual. If flower is bisexual, definitely plant is bisexual. But if the flower is unisexual, the plant may be monoecious or dioecious. Flower is unisexual. If flower is unisexual, that means the flower consists of either male reproductive organ or female reproductive organ only. If the plant consists of male reproductive organ, it is called a male flower. If the flower consists of female reproductive organ, the flower is female. But male and female flowers are found on the same plant. It is called monoecious. So the plant is in monoecious plant. Monoecious plants are bisexual, but flowers are unisexual. Opposite is dioecious. Flower, dioecious means unisexual. Organism is unisexual. Dioecious means organism is unisexual. Plant is unisexual. That means male flowers are found on one plant, female flowers are found on another plant. Plant is unisexual, flowers are unisexual. So that is a little not confusion, an aspect we have to concentrate in the case of a plant. Because in plant, the reproductive organs are born in flower. So sexuality, it is applicable to flower. At the same time, it is applicable to plant. If flower is bisexual, definitely plant is bisexual. But if the flower is unisexual, plant may be monoecious, that is bisexual, or dioecious, unisexual. Okay. Now we move on to the next question. Question number 10. Parthenogenesis is the process in which organisms are formed. Organisms are formed. So what is parthenogenesis? Parthenogenesis is the formation of an organism from unfertilized egg. Parthenogenesis, the organism is formed from unfertilized egg. That is means without fertilization. Without fertilization. That is, without fertilization, the female gamete egg develop into an organism. So, parthenogenesis is by without fertilization. Without fertilization. Without fertilization. So, you may wonder, if an unfertilized egg, that is haploid, universally all normal gametes are haploid. In a sexually reproducing organism, all gametes of all organisms are haploid. So you imagine, if an unfertilized egg which is haploid and it develop into an individual, grow into an individual, that means the division involved is mitosis and egg develop into an organism without fertilization. So definitely that organism will be haploid. Parthenogenetically developed organisms will be haploid because they develop without fertilization. The best example is male honeybee. Male honeybee. Male honeybee is it is haploid. Male honeybees are haploid. While male honeybees are haploid, they develop parthenogenetically. They develop from unfertilized egg. Okay, that is the parthenogenesis. Then we move on to the 11th question. 11th question, two diagrams are given. Diagram A, very well, it is hydra. Diagram B, it is sponges. What type of reproductive organ or what type of reproduction it depicts? And we know it is method of asexual reproduction. Hydra, it is bud in hydra and gemmule in sponges. You see, this is bud. That is the daughter progeny produced from the parent. The size is extremely different. The daughter progeny is very small. In yeast also we had seen when the daughter cells are produced are unequal in size from that of the parent cell, it is called budding. Later it developed. Later the bud grew. But at the time of formation, the daughter progeny, the daughter cell or the daughter progeny, it is much smaller than the parent progeny. So it is called budding. Then next step. External synchrony. External synchrony occur in. What is external synchrony? Synchrony means fusion of egg and sperm. Fusion of male gamete and female gamete. Fusion of male and female gamete is called synchrony. What is external synchrony? That is the fusion of male and female gametes takes place outside the body of the organism. Usually it is in water. It is in water. External synchrony takes place in water. That is, the female animal and the male animal releases their respective gametes. Female animal releases the female gamete. Male animal releases the male gamete. The water will protect it from desiccation, drying up, and the fusion takes place in water. It is called external synchrony. External synchrony takes place in option C, frog, fishes, starfish, and amphioxus. All are aquatic organisms. In other options, one or other, you can see a non-aquatic organism. Question number 13. Question number 13 is a long match the following. Long match the following. Answer is D. Answer is D. So A, largest bud, it can be matched with a cabbage. Cabbage, the bud of cabbage which is used as a vegetable. Bud of cabbage is used as a vegetable. It is the largest bud. Then tunicated bulb. Tunicated bulb, it is matched to 5. Onion. So tunicated bulb means you imagine the shape of the onion. Shape of the onion. One end is pointed. The other end is broad. Other end is broad. Like this, you can see in onion, it's a broad one. This is what is called tunicated bulb. Phylloclad can be matched with the opuntia. Phylloclad can, what is phylloclad? Phylloclad is a stem modification for photosynthesis. Phylloclad is a stem modification for photosynthesis. The stem becomes fleshy, the stem becomes green in color, and it is modified for photosynthesis. D can be matched with a 6. Runner. Runner, it is cynodon. Cynodon is a grass. We already said about runner. It is found in grasses and strawberry. Cynodon is a grass. Item E can be matched to 2. Dahlia. In dahlia, root tubers are the vegetative propagule. Any part which is capable of producing a new plant, it is called propagule. It is vegetative propagule. Dahlia. Adventitious bud, we just described, it is bryophyllum. We matched everything. Bryophyllum. What is adventitious bud? Bud which develop from other than tip and axil. Tip of the other any area. From any area other than tip or axis, it is called adventitious bud. Okay, dear students, We move on to the next question. Question number 15. It is also a match the following. So not the question number 15. 14. All right. Question number 14. The answer is D. A can be matched with a 4. So meiosis takes place in germinal cell. B can be matched with a 5. Cockroach is not. B can be matched. Cockroach is a bisexual animal. What is cockroach? It is not D. Cladophora. Isogamy. So cockroach. It can be matched with, okay, the others will let us see, can be matched with 1 isogamy. D can be matched with a, D can be, yes, D can be matched with a 2 endogamy, tenia. E can be matched with a 3 obligatory parthenogenesis. Then this is a type of Typhlina is a type of snake in which parthenogenesis occurs. So this is the answer: A4, B5, C1, D2, E3. Cladophora, it is isogamy. So here it is tenia, it is a worm, tapeworm. It is endogamy, and the answer is D. Next, question number 15. Select the true or false statement. True or false statement. Here the answer is D. 1 is true. Like earthworm, sponge, tapeworm, leech, all are examples of bisexual animal. Bisexuality is rare in animal. Most of the animals are unisexual. But the opposite is in plants. Most of the plants are unisexual, but animals, most of the plants are bisexual. Rarely they are unisexual. But most of the animals are unisexual. Rarely animals are bisexual. First one is a correct statement. But second and third are wrong. Why? Fusion of 2 gametes formed by different parent. Fusion, it is not endogamy. Fusion of 2 gametes. Fusion of 2 gametes. It is fusion of 2 gametes. It is called synchrony. Fusion of, if it is external, it is called endogamy. That's all. Fusion of 2 gametes, it is called synchrony, not endogamy. Fusion of 2 gametes outside the body of the organism is called inside the body, endogamy. Outside, that is external fertilization. Then second, parthenogenesis, development of egg occurs with the help of fertilization, is wrong. Without fertilization, we just discussed earlier. Question number 15. The answer is D. First statement is correct. Second and third are wrong. Next, question number 16. This is the diagram of Kara. Diagram of Kara. That is, A is the oogonium. A is the oogonium. B is the antheridium. The reproductive structures of Kara. Reproductive structures of Kara. Female reproductive structure is oogonium. Male reproductive structure is antheridium. As in the diagram, you can see that both antheridium and oogonium are present on the same plant. So Kara is a bisexual plant. Kara is a bisexual plant. Okay. Answer is B, oogonium and antheridium. 17. embryonal care and protection are better in? A logical question. Embryonal care and it is protection in. Very well, the answer is viviparous organisms. In viviparous organism, the fertilization is internal and the embryo develops inside the maternal parent. Embryo development is completed in the maternal parent. So that the embryo or the developing embryo get the protection from the mother, from the maternal parent. But in the case of asexual reproduction, organisms which undergo sexual reproduction, there is a question mark. Not all organisms, because organisms which perform sexual reproduction, the synchrony may be internal or external. In organisms where there is synchrony is external, there is no protection from the maternal parent. There is no protection from the maternal parent because synchrony is external. Zygote is formed external and embryo development takes place outside the body of the organism, usually in water. So there is a question mark. Organisms which undergo sexual reproduction is a question mark. Why? It is not generally true. Organisms which undergo sexual reproduction, if the synchrony is external, so the embryo will not get the protection. There will be a high risk of predators destroying or taking away the zygote or the embryo. Here also, in oviparous organism also questionable. In oviparous organism, the synchrony is internal. In oviparous organism, synchrony is internal. But what happens? They lay down the fertilized egg. Further development of the zygote takes place outside the body of the female animal. You take the case of reptiles, birds. The synchrony is internal, but the embryo development is external. Here synchrony is internal, but embryo development is external. That is why there is a question. In oviparous animals, due to the external development of the embryo, they lay down the egg. Embryo development is completed outside the body of the organism. Synchrony is internal. That means synchrony is internal, does not provide a full protection. It provides full protection if the development of the embryo is completed inside the body of the organism. Okay. Next is 17. But it is 17. Okay. 18. This is an assertion reason question, but the statement regarding. So here the assertion is correct, reason also correct. In bony fishes and frogs, large number of offspring are produced. Why? This is because the offspring are extremely vulnerable to the predators, threatening their survival up to adulthood. In bony fishes and frogs, the synchrony is external. Fusion of male and female gamete takes place outside the body of the organism. It is in water, and the zygote or the embryo or the development of the zygote, embryogenesis, takes place outside the body of the organism, that is in water. So there is a high chance of risk the chance of risk is high. So the embryo or the zygote, the developing embryo, may be perished. Predators may take away. So they produce large number of progeny. Here reason is correct. And also the reason support assertion. Reason, assertion correct, reason is correct. And reason explains assertion. Explains assertion. In such a situation, we can take the option A. That is, assertion and reason are correct, and reason explain assertion. Reason explain assertion. Okay, the reason explain assertion. If assertion and reason are correct, reason does not explain, we take the option B. We take the option B. If assertion is correct, reason wrong, we take the option C. If assertion is wrong, reason is correct, we take the option D. We take the option D. So sometimes this may change. A and B will be like this. Assertion and reason correct. Reason support assertion or explains assertion. Okay, now match the following we come. Chlamydomonas, Hydra, Sponchilla, Penicillium, Planaria, and Euglena. And Euglena. Here we select the option B. Option B. Chlamydomonas, the asexual reproduction is zoospores. Hydra, it is exogenous bud. Sponchilla, nothing but sponges. It is endogenous bud. Endogenous bud we called gemmules. Spores are bud. Then Penicillium, first one, second one, it is the third one, this is the fourth one. Penicillium, it is conidia, planaria, transverse binary fission. Euglena, it is longitudinal binary fission. An example for vegetative or asexual reproduction on the right side in column number 2, an example on left side, column number 1. Then 20. Cladoid eggs are present. Cladoid eggs are present in reptiles, you can see, birds you can see. So the option is D. In reptiles and birds, as I told already, the synchrony is internal, but they lay fertilized eggs. So to get a protection after fertilization, the fertilized egg get a calcareous covering, a covering made up of calcium-rich compound. A shell is produced. A shell, a calcareous shell is formed around the fertilized egg. Fertilized egg. Such an egg is called cladoid egg. Such an egg is called cladoid egg. They are found in they are found in birds and reptiles. What are cladoid eggs? Cladoid eggs are egg after fertilization. Fertilized eggs provided with a calcareous shell. That is, the covering, a calcareous covering consists of calcium compounds. Okay, question number 22, 21, what it is? The only cell that gives a vital link between two generations, which is the cell provides a link between paternal generation and the progeny generation, parent and the progeny. The link, the vital link is zygote. Vital link is zygote, the two parental generation. 22, we get some diagrams. 4 diagrams of 4 organisms showing a sexual reproduction. Answer is B. A. It is the zoospore of Chlamydomonas. The spores are produced inside the zoosporangium. That is, the spores are endogenous. They are motile. B. Conidia of penicillium. That is, the spores are exogenous and non-motile. Then it is the bud of hydra and gemmules of sponges, endogenous buds or endogenous spores. Now, question number 23. Here, some statements are given. What answer? We go for the answer C. 1 and 2 are correct, but 3 and 4 are wrong. First one. Plants may have both male and female reproductive structure in the same plant, bisexual, no doubt. Plants may have both male and female reproductive structure on different plants. Same plant, it is unisexual. Plant is unisexual. Here not the flower is, plant is mentioned. But what about the mistake in tree, in fungi and plants? Terms such as homothallic or monoecious, it is used. It is used for bisexual or bisexuality. Homosexual means bisexual. Heterothallic and unisexual, it is not, the statements are wrong. This one is unisexual. Heterothalism, dioecious condition. Synonymous terms we can use. Heterothallic, homothallic, the words are used in lower organism. Dioecious, monoecious, used in higher plants. Next, large number of male gametes are transferred to female gametes through water to ensure fertilization. But in seed plants, pollen grains and pollen tubes are carriers of male gametes towards the female gametes. This transition has got lot of evolutionary significance and it is technically known as. The question can be converged into a simple sense: transfer of male gamete to female gamete with the help of pollen tube. It is called siphonogamy. Siphonogamy. Siphon means tube. Here it stands for pollen tube. Siphonogamy first originated in gymnosperm and also found in angiosperm. Only 2 groups of plants in plant kingdom, they show siphonogamy, that is gymnosperm and angiosperm. It first originated in gymnosperm. 25. Regarding gemma and gemmules. Gemma, it is in bryophyte, we studied in the first chapter. Gemmules in sponges. Gemmules in sponges. 26. The term clone cannot be applied to offspring by sexual reproduction. Why the term clone cannot be applied to progeny from sexual reproduction? Because progeny from sexual reproduction show variation. Clone stands for group of organisms having no variation. So answer is A. That is, offspring do not possess exact parent DNA, not exact parental DNA. Why? Sexual reproduction is by gametic fusion. Gametic fusion, so the progeny show variation. Okay, question number 26. If the male gamete of rice plant have 12 chromosomes in their nucleus, male gamete 12, that means n equal to 12. The chromosome number in female gamete, zygote and cell of the seedling. Female gamete, haploid. Zygote, diploid. Seedling, diploid. So what will be the answer? It is 12, 24, 24. Answer is C. Answer is C. Then 28. Appearance of vegetative propagules from the nodes of plants such as sugarcane and ginger. Why? The nodes of sugarcane and ginger produces plants from the node is the question. From the nodal region, the plants produces. Here if we change the option, B, it is C, here the option is B. Nodes have meristematic cell. Nodes have meristematic cell. These meristematic cells in the node, they develop into bud, and the bud develop into progeny. That is why they reproduce from the nodal region. Question number 29. There is, yes, first question. There is no natural death in single-celled organisms like amoeba and bacteria, because in the first question we extensively discussed single-celled organisms are immortal. There is no natural death for them. Why? That is option C. The parental body is distributed to. Parental body is distributed to the progeny. It is among the offspring. There is no existence of the parent after. No existence of the parent after the division. Next, again, regarding a chromosome, the number of chromosomes in shoot tip cells of maize is 20. Shoot tip cell is 2n. That is 2n equal to 20. Like that we deduce. The number of chromosomes in microspore mother cell of the same plant. Microspore mother cell is 2n. Microspore is n. Microspore is haploid. But microspore mother cell is diploid. 2n, the question gives 2n. 2n is 20. 2n is 20. Microspore mother cell is diploid. So the answer is A, 20. Also possess 20 chromosomes. But microspore, if the question is converted, changed into microspore, the answer is 10. Because microspore is haploid. Why microspore is haploid? Microspore mother cell undergo meiosis and produce microspore. Similarly, megaspore mother cell is diploid. Megaspore mother cell is diploid. But megaspore is haploid. That is, megaspore is haploid because megaspores are formed from megaspore mother cell by meiosis. This is all about the 30 questions. Thank you, dear students. Thank you. Thank you very much.